We thank you so much for joining us. My name is Victor Rojas. My partner, Mark Gubiza, will be joining us a little bit later on. As we commence with this introduction of the next chapter of Angels baseball, we do so with the heaviest of hearts. On behalf of Carol and Artie Moreno and the entire Angels family, we would like to send our condolences to those families affected by the horrific and tragic events that occurred yesterday morning in Newtown, Connecticut. Our prayers, our thoughts, and our hearts are with you all. As we begin today, I'd like to introduce to you the folks that are to my right, beginning with Angels owner Artie Moreno, new Angels outfielder Josh Hamilton, Angels general manager Jerry Dipoto, and the skipper Mike Scioscia. I'd also like to introduce former Angel Bobby Grich, third base coach Dino Ebel, and the little lefty. The tall lefty is Chuck Finley. The little lefty, Mark Langston's in the house. At this time, as well you should, at this time I'd like to turn things over to Jerry for some opening comments.
Well, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. And this is an exciting moment for us. Obviously, the ability to add a player of Josh Hamilton's quality and character is it's a terrific day. And I'd like to first thank Artie and Carol for all the flexibility and resources that they've given us as an organization and the Angel family and fan base. I'd also like to thank Josh and his family, beautiful family, for coming out here today. It's been a whirlwind week, and we're really looking forward to what the year brings. But Josh, his qualities on the field really don't need much rundown. 5 consecutive All-Star appearances, an AL MVP, a batting champion, Silver Sluggers, you name it. But more importantly, I think a fascinating story. And we look forward to this being the next chapter in his life and in our organization's history. So, welcome to the Hamiltons.
Skipper, would you like to say some words?
Well, first we got to get this precious young girl up here for Josh, and then we'll say a couple words. Naturally, we're very, very excited from on-field baseball perspective. The depth of our lineup is increased exponentially now, and you know, compared to some of the big offenses in our league, to get a guy like Josh and combine him with Albert is going to give us building blocks we hope for years to come. We're very, very excited, and I think once again, Artie and Carol, we thank you guys for investing in our team, giving us a chance to contend, and we can't wait to get going. We're ready to go. I can tell you that, Victor.
I'd like to ask Carol, Katie Hamilton, of course, and Josh's daughters, Michaela, Julia, Sierra, Stella, to come up on stage for the jersey and hat presentation.
Take a picture of the back. I want to see how it looks. Look over your shoulder.
How'd you get up here with what? Josh, you want to pick?
I'll see. Let me look at it.
Josh? Right here with you.
Oh, she's getting jealous.
We'll get over here.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Look how beautiful. So pretty.
This way? Over here?
Cheese. Give me a hold.
Dear.
There we go.
There. Little one's exiting.
John? Katie? Yeah. We'll get one with you.
Yeah, give her a believer.
Don't get one with it. Who'd you get on this side?
See that? Take it.
Let me put her down.
You get on it. Why'd you put them in the middle? Put them in the middle.
Artie's direct traffic. Here you go. 1, 2, 3. 2 more. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. You are going to. Before we open it up for questions and answers, Josh, just if you'd like to give us your thoughts, and then we'll get into the Q&A.
My thoughts?
Yeah.
All right. Hello, everybody. First of all, I'd just like to obviously thank the Angels organization, Artie and Carol. What great people they are. And haven't spent a whole lot of time with them, but I'm a pretty good judge of character. So I'd just like to thank them for giving me the opportunity to be here and be a part of this organization. Thanks to Jerry, and look forward to, and John, of course, and look forward to getting after it with Soch out there on the field. Instead of watching him argue with umpires, be on the same team he's arguing with umpires with. I love when he gets after them. It's awesome. But just excited to be here in general. My family's excited to be here. You know, I enjoyed my time in Texas tremendously with that organization. You know, they did what everything they could to help me and my family succeed and live life. And just praying about this, and you know, everywhere. You know, I've told Ari this, and Jerry, and everybody in the front office. You know, when I was out of baseball and got clean, and you know, my relationship with Christ was formed, and that foundation was there. He restored everything to me, and directed my path and my steps every way, shape or form since then. So in this process, why wouldn't I think he was going to direct my path again? So we spent a lot of time in prayer, my wife and I, talking to each other, and just supporting each other, and looking at my girls right now, and they're all big smiles looking at me up here talking. It's just a blessing. So excited to be here, excited to think about the next 5 years, excited to think about this lineup and what it's capable of, and just being a part of it. And it's going to be a good ride, and I'm going to give everything I got to the organization on and off the field, with my teammates, with the fans, spending time just sharing my story, hearing the stories, loving on people, encouraging people, and just becoming part of the community. So very, very excited to be here.
I'd like to open it up for Q&A, but as always, we do have microphones. Please just raise your hand, wait for the microphone to get to you, and For Josh's sake, just introduce yourself, newspaper or the media outlet that you represent. So if you have a question, please feel free. We got a couple of microphones on either side.
Right behind you, Oliver.
Hi, Josh. Sam Ryan from MLB Network. Over here.
Hey.
With your relationships built in Texas, in particular Ron Washington, and the understanding you guys had for each other, and he told me many times you were in and out of his office at times. How difficult or what is it like to leave that comfort level and have a new start here?
I don't think it's difficult. I mean, everybody knows first and foremost, my support system is my relationship with the Lord. And secondly, it's my family. And thirdly, it's my accountability guy, Shane Kelly, sitting right here in the front row. Nice suit, glasses, bald head, probably shining really bright right now. But that's it. And, relationships that I create in Texas, Wash, I love Wash. I love spending time with him, talking to him. No reason why I can't be in and out of offices with Soch over here. Spending time with him, talking to him, picking his brain. He's got a lot of knowledge about the game. I'm sure life as well, and just creating relationships. It's pretty cool when the new chapter in your life begins, and it's exciting. So to think about being here, started off with the Devil Rays. Now I'm an Angel. So it's pretty cool.
Josh, Joe McDonald over here to your right.
Hey.
Fox Sports
What's
West.
up, baby?
How you doing, man? Was there one particular thing that sold you? I mean, obviously money plays a big part in everything, but was there anything else that sold you on coming to Los Angeles, playing for the Angels?
Talking with Artie and understanding his passion for the community, his heart and Carol's heart in general for people. Understanding that they want their fans to have an enjoyable experience at the ballpark, and they don't want it to cost an arm and a leg for them to do that. So understanding his heart, understanding I want to be a part of something like that gives back, and it's more about giving than taking. And that was really what I got from speaking with Artie and Carol, and really drew me and my wife in.
Hey, Josh, Alden Gonzalez with MLB.com. Just wondering, at what point did you realize that the Angels were serious about bringing you in, and were you kind of surprised by that, given their outfield situation?
Of course I was surprised. It was, what was it, a Wednesday? Got serious on Wednesday?
Sounds about right.
Serious on Wednesday and signed on Wednesday? Or accepted on Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday night before bed.
They like to get after it. They like to get things done.
Yeah, they were serious on Monday.
Yeah, we'd talked for about three days, and just was excited to see they were excited, to see a team, see people who really pursue you and want you part of the organization. That's what a player wants to see, and was just excited to see Artie getting after it. Yeah. You want to talk, man? You want to get that down there?
They bar me from this.
They barred you from it.
Josh, James Allen, AMA 30, Angels flagship.
Where you at?
Over here.
Where's that? Where's over here? Hey, there you are.
All right. After last season, most of the fans were a little bit acrimonious on how the season ended, not being able to make the playoffs after all the additions. In your opinion, do you feel that with your bat in the lineup now, the Angels are now in the conversation for not only the division but a World Series championship?
I think yes. Simple answer. They had the talent to last year. And it's about going out there. It's about chemistry. Getting acclimated with your teammates, and that carrying over from spring training in the clubhouse to the season in the clubhouse and out on the field. I've heard all great, wonderful things about spring training and how fun it is. There's no reason to think that can't carry over right into the beginning of the season and on after that. Because we're all big kids. We're competitors. We love playing the game. You know, and when you get to the point of, you know, we all love playing the game, but when you love coming to the park and interacting with your coaches and your teammates, you know, because they're your second family. They're your family away from home. And I saw that growth last year. Started off a little slow and ended pretty strong. So to come into a situation like that is pretty special, and you know, just exciting for me to think about, you know, all the great talent, the mixture of veterans and young players, and just all the potential that's there in a lot of different areas, and just excited in general.
Hey, Josh. Jeff Wilson with the Star-Telegram, back row.
Hey, Jeff.
How are you?
How's it going?
Good. Hey, John Daniels said the other day that he sensed that there was a perception that you were thinking that it was time to move on. Was there anything that triggered that, or can you elaborate on that right now?
Just an easy, simple answer, but I'll expand on it for you. Prayed a lot about it. And, you know, when you understand, when you pray about something and God gives you peace about a decision, you know, more than likely that's His will for you. When you don't have peace about it, it's not. So prayed a lot about it, and understanding that I had such a great time in Texas, how easy and how comfortable would it be to stay there. But a lot of times God likes to take us out of our comfort zone. So one, we can grow spiritually, and two, we can affect people in different places. So that was the main thing. I met with JD about a week before this happened, and just shared my heart with him completely, and just told him I felt like it was, you know, obviously I praised him and thanked him for everything that he had done for me and my family, and you know, talked about the fans and, you know, the coaching staff and all the above, and how much heartfelt appreciation there was, but feeling like it was time for me and to move on, just in general. There was no specific thing that was like, hey, you know, I'm upset, or, you know, anything like that. It was just a sense of peace, of praying and, you know, searching, and it was time to turn the page and move to a new season, a chapter of life.
Josh, Dave Seltzer from AngelsWin.com.
Hello, Dave.
Hello. With you in the outfield and Trout in the outfield, the Angels fans are now going to have a chance to see one of the greatest outfields they've seen ever, offensively and defensively. Could you talk about the excitement that you have to be a part of that outfield and how you might feed off of that?
First of all, are you excited about that?
Very much so.
That's a good thing. You know, it's going to be phenomenal. Think about Trout. Think about what he did last year. Unbelievable. When we played against him, I mean, I was trying to beat him, but I was also a fan of watching him play. Just the excitement, the energy he brought to the game. Never knowing what you were going to get or what to expect. And, you know, to think about Trumbo. I mean, the kid's very mature. I spent a little bit of time with him at the All-Star game last year, Trumbo and Trout. And just both mature beyond their years, and understanding that they are very competitive, but like to have fun and play the game. So to be out there with those guys, think about that. Think about the offense potential. Think about I love defense more than I love offense. I mean, I love, you know, diving and you know, throwing guys out. We talked about the wall thing. And, you know, I'd like to think I've become a little smarter as a player. You know, 5 runs up, you know, I might not need to hit the wall. But just learning, and that's life in general, learning things. But excited about the prospect of being the old, salty veteran in the outfield at 31. So it's going to be fun.
Josh, you talked over here again. You talked about already getting after it. Yeah. Texas had quite a while to sign you, obviously, and they didn't get after it, apparently. Did that have something to do with it? And did it bother you that there wasn't more of an effort on their part to sign you quickly?
Now, I mean, looking at it, what I've talked about earlier, I mean, I think it's a blessing in disguise. But, I mean, I gave him everything I had for 5 years. So I'd be lying to you if I said it didn't bother me a little bit, that they didn't put the press on. My wife explained it very eloquently. Would you like to explain it?
When?
The whole dating thing?
Oh, well, okay.
Come on, y'all want to hear this? It's good.
This is coming from a woman, okay? So, I mean, and they did there at the end. But, my take on it was that we were with him for 5 years, and if you're going to date somebody and that's going to be your man or your woman, then you make it official and you make it known pretty quick, or at some point, that you want to be with them. So the fact that they let us date other teams, and
in the winter meetings.
Yep, and and Josh had said that he'd give them the first chance, and they didn't take him up on that. So they did. They let us go out and date people and kind of give our hearts away, and that's.
She said you should have put a ring on it.
That's what I said. But now, in hindsight, I'm so glad they didn't, because we feel so strongly that this is where God has moved us and planted us, and we could not be more thankful to the organization and more excited about our family's adventure out here, and love the game and definitely like to win. So, we're looking forward to it.
She's a competitor.
This question is for Jerry. Jerry, at what point did the organization decide to pursue Josh, and how involved were you in this decision?
Involved enough. I think we made our initial contact with Josh and Katie, Mike Moy, and Scott Sanderson about 2 weeks ago. Sat down, Scott Service and I had a lunch with Katie and Josh, as well as Scott and Mike, out in Nashville, and met for a couple of hours, I'd say, and got to know each other, and it's been a very steady line of communication since, obviously ramping up these last 3 or 4 days. And any time you bring in a player of any magnitude, much less someone who's accomplished what Josh has in the game, it's a group effort. That's what we do. That's why we have an organization. We all take part in the recruiting of a player, drawing someone in, the negotiation of a contract, etc. And that's what this was about. And at the end of the day, the guy sitting at the end of the table is the one who makes this organization go. And that's the way it'll be at every turn, and we're glad it turned out the way it did this time.
Josh, Jason Brennan, Angels Radio, AM 830.
Hello, Jason.
Hey, did C.J. Wilson or any of the other Angels reach out to you in this process and try to bring you along?
It was funny. I was in our neighborhood. We got a little fish camp pond, and I was with the kids, and I got a text from CJ, and I haven't talked to CJ since he signed to go here. I text him, congratulations, happy for him, this and that. Well, I get a text out of nowhere, and he's like, I don't know if it's Hambone's number still, but come to L.A. And I didn't respond because I didn't know if I was supposed to respond. And then he sent an email to Katie saying the same thing, and we never responded to him. So CJ, I'm sorry we didn't respond to you. Now we can talk, buddy. But that was it. Obviously CJ and I had a relationship in Texas, and I know he's already talked about playing Xbox on the road. It's exciting to be here, and it's going to be better not facing him and being on the same team again. Yeah.
Hey, Josh, to your left, back left, Tim Brown with Yahoo.
Hey, Tim.
How are you? I'm curious about your personal path and the importance of structure and routine. There was an awful lot of conversation about that early in your free agency, mostly speculation. How important are those things to you, and how do you restructure and routine yourself now with this sort of up and move?
Yeah, well, I think, personally, it's my opinion. I think structure is important in anybody's life, period. When you have idle time and, sitting around doing nothing, that's when you get in trouble. So, it's funny to me listening to everybody report. It was support system is in Texas. She's comfortable in Texas, and I'm like, here we go. I've talked about my support system, God, my wife, my kids, Shane Kelly, and wherever I'm going to be, they're going to be. And, like anywhere, no matter where I was at, I need structure. And that's, in the off season, being with my family, going to church, doing all the things I need to do to be a better man, and father and husband. And, during the season is, having that routine of, doing Bible studies and, hanging out with, my teammates and creating relationships there, and, and having that routine of what you do on a daily basis before you go out and perform that night, and understanding what you need to do and how you need to take care of your body, and, all that stuff applies no matter where I'm at. So I don't think it's, the only thing that's going to be a big difference is, finding a place to live and getting familiar with the area. And, we started homeschooling our kids a year ago. So they had the freedom there of going with us, and my support system being with me always. So it's just exciting to think about, being in a new place, and kids are excited about it. I'm excited about it. Katie's excited about it. Shane's excited about it. Kim's excited about it. I can name a lot of people that are excited about it. John's excited about it. Artie's excited about it. All these guys. So it's going to be fun.
Josh, Scott Miller, CBSSports.com, to your right.
Hey, Scott.
How are you?
Good.
Hey, back to your dating.
Dating?
Well, you were discussing.
Yeah.
The Rangers, they were pretty public that they thought that you were going to give them either a last chance to bid, or that you'd at least have a last conversation with them before you signed. I wondered, from your perspective, did you give them that indication or commitment? And if not, what was your thinking?
Yeah, not that I'm aware of. It's funny because I hadn't listened to, I don't have the internet on my phone. I don't get Google alerts about myself. I don't, do all that stuff. I don't watch ESPN. I don't watch the MLB Network. And the day the news broke, I turned on the MLB Network, and Harold Reynolds said, as soon as I turned it on, he was like, roll the videotape. And I pop up, and I'm talking, to the fans, after one of the games or something. And then they asked me a contract question, and I, tell them, I said, look, I've said all along I'll give the Rangers first shot after the season's over. And afterwards, I see Harold just up there grinning, and a couple other guys, okay, I get it now, because it came out of my mouth that they get the first shot. And they let me date. So, it is what it is. Stop hogging the microphone. What are you doing?
No, I just wondered about the last shot. The question was more instead of the first shot, the last shot, if there's anything.
Yeah, did I not answer that question? Didn't I say first shot, not last shot?
Okay, just want to double check
Okay.
it. Thank you, Josh.
Josh, Bill Shaken from the Los Angeles Times, far other side.
Hello, Bill.
Short guy in the back. Just wondering, a lot of players like to talk about how they deal with the pressure on the field, but you deal with pressure that even a lot of the players can't relate to. Can you explain how you deal with the pressure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, of being in an environment where somebody with a cell phone camera can turn your life upside down?
Yeah, that's anybody. Anybody deals with that, man, because it comes to the point of making choices. What choices you going to make? Don't matter if I'm a baseball player, athlete, a guy that works at a grocery store, drives a bus, school teacher, whatever. It's all our choices are acceptable to being on YouTube or tweeted about or whatever the case. Social media takes care of things today, so there's no stress or pressure there. I'm not, walking out of my door and spying around trying to see who's after me. I don't live my life that way. I don't live it in fear. I don't live it in fear of making mistakes, and at the same time I don't try to make mistakes. You know, I try to, you know, you think about, you know, relapse in 2009. Okay, you know, had a slip up, moved on. It's last January. Okay, it happened again. Well, what do we do, or how do we get to this point again? Let's really dig deep and look in there. And God really showed me, you know, when you turn, you know, one day not spending time with them to a week, to 2 weeks, to 3 weeks, to a month. Okay, then my relationships and my support system start getting strained, and I start shutting down and pushing them away, and start turning into my own thoughts and, you know, old habits, thinking. So it was crucial when he showed me that, how I get to, you know, where I've failed in the past, and understanding what I need to do on a daily basis not to fail. And when I wake up every morning, pray, get in the Word, you know, watch a sermon, whatever the case may be, that sets me up for dealing with life that day. You know, baseball's a learning process, life's a learning process, and they're very similar.
Yeah, Josh, back here, Bill Plaschke, Los Angeles Times.
Hello, Bill.
Hey, man. A word a lot of us have used in our stories is risk. How much risk do you think the Angels are taking with you?
I think they take it with any athlete, any sports team. You know, obviously, you know, I have past history with, you know, making mistakes, you know, drugs, alcohol, all that. You know, I've drank twice in 7 years, you know, and which is not good for me. So it's one of those things where they see the risk, reward type stuff. You know, off the field, they understand what it takes for me to do all the things I need to do as far as being a better man, husband, father. On the field, it was funny. I was talking to our trainer, Adam, yesterday. I was doing the physical stuff, and we were driving the car, and he was like, "Yeah, I heard on the radio yesterday they were talking about, you know, your injuries in the past and stuff." And he was like, "They do realize those are like baseball injuries. You know, you're breaking ribs, breaking arms, you know, playing the game. You know, you're not having like chronic issues and, you know, hamstrings and, you know, whatever the case may be." He says, "You're playing the game and getting hurt." He said, "I'm glad they all were shot away because we got you." And that's just, I'm so excited and happy to hear an organization say, "We're so excited and happy we got you, no matter what the risk is." And they're going to help me, you know, with my support system as well, put things in place that I have with the Rangers that are nothing out of the ordinary, nothing that's straining to the organization or a clubhouse. So I'm excited to be here, excited to be with people who want me to be here. I know I'm giving long answers, I'm sorry. No more questions? All right, good job, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Josh, welcome to the organization. At this point, this will conclude this portion of the press conference, and we'll break off to some one-on-ones. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.